It started off on a mission in 1999 in South America. We were doing a narcotics mission. Our driver was trying to avoid a dangerous situation and went off the cliff. The vehicle ended up rolling over the top of me, crushing my back. Woke up 2 months later from a coma with a doctor telling me, "You're very lucky to be alive, but you'll never walk again." I went from living the dream to face down in a ditch with a broken back and unable to breathe. My name is Jason Morgan. I was a Staff Sergeant in the United States Air Force Special Operations Command, and I'm a paraplegic. My job in Ecuador was to train up the Ecuadorian Special Forces of how to combat a drug terrorist group there. 20 years later, looking back on it, it was definitely a dangerous job. So when I woke up from my coma with the doctors telling me, you're lucky to be alive, but you'll never walk again, my first reaction was, that's not true. How can I live my life from jumping out of airplanes to living to a wheelchair? I think that was a really hard thing to accept. Out of the next 7 years, I spent the next 3.5 years in the hospital. I just remember the first thing I want to do is go back and be a husband again and be a father, to start at least from there, only to learn that my wife said that she met someone else and she's not going to be there when I got home. I know that not only am I going to be by myself, but now I got 3 boys to raise. It turned out to be a blessing because it gave me a reason to move forward. So this is my buddy, Rue. She's my second service dog, and she is amazing. She's my battle buddy, my best friend, and it's amazing the things she does for me every day. When she retrieves objects for me, she can get my clothes out of the dryer, turn light switches on and off, she can shut the door behind me, and so many other tasks.
Canine Companions for Independence is a national nonprofit organization, and we provide expertly trained assistance dogs to children and adults, including veterans, with a wide variety of disabilities. So after Rue spent about 1.5 years with her puppy raiser, she spent about 6 months in professional training with us. They learned to train around wheelchairs, canes, walkers, all different kinds of equipment. So we use a product called Whistle, and it monitors the health, behavior, and activity of our dogs while they're in training, as well as identify which dogs might be most successful in our program.
Before I got my service dog, the time that I spent after my injury, it was almost like I had leprosy. People would go out of their way not to talk to me or not to associate with me.
Anytime there's a dog, there's an emotional connection. They form a really strong bond with their dog. And it gives them more confidence to go out in public on their own. Overall, we're enhancing the lives of people with disabilities by giving them their independence back.
It was amazing, the transformation. The first day that I brought my service dog home, I felt like everyone in the grocery store came up to us and they want to know, who's this amazing dog that's pulling you and picking out his own toys? In return for people wanting to know about this incredible dog I had, they got to know me and my story. My job, this tradition that you run 30 miles for your 30th birthday. And I was 29 when I got hurt. And I made a commitment right then. I said, well, when I turn 40, I'm going to run a marathon. I never let my paralysis be an excuse not to do something. I remember it was one of the toughest things, crossing that finish line, feeling like my life has changed, that there's no obstacle that I can't overcome. Out of everything that's happened to me, by far in my life, my service dogs, Nepal and now Rue, had the biggest impact on my life. I feel that I've made more of a difference and affected people's lives in a much greater way than when I ever was in the military.
All of our graduates have different stories, but what they have in common is how these dogs can change their lives.
So I really feel like that I've had 3 lives: before my accident, after my injury, and when I got my service dog.